Hi, welcome. I'm Olga, Spiritual Bish, and I want to offer you some mindful flow yoga today. And in the beginning, I just wanted to say that you are welcome to stop at any time or do something different than what I'm offering, because your body is your greatest teacher. Okay, so when you're ready, I invite you to find a position, a shape that you would like to start your practice in. So you might be sitting down, or you might be lying down, you might be in a chair. And then I invite you to see if you're open to closing your eyes, but you could also keep them open. And maybe taking a moment to turn inwards. If your eyes are open, you're welcome to maybe look around to see your surroundings. If they're closed, you might begin to notice sounds. Maybe noticing sounds in the distance or sounds somewhere closer to you. And then you might bring your awareness to the parts of your body that have just landed on the surface below you. So maybe allowing yourself to land here in this room, allowing yourself to land here in your body in this moment. Can you feel the support of the earth below you? Noticing that your body has weight. And then I invite you to see if there's anything you could do to maybe make yourself just a little bit more comfortable. So maybe exploring that now. And maybe exploring with saying the words to yourself, I deserve comfort. And seeing what that brings up for you. And now I invite you to bring your awareness to your breath. You don't have to change how you're breathing, maybe just noticing when you're breathing. So you might notice when you inhale and when you exhale. And noticing where you feel the air in your body as it moves in and out. And so you're welcome to stay with your natural rhythm of breath, or if it's available to you, you might explore lengthening your inhale and your exhale. So maybe adding some air to your breath. And maybe a couple of more breaths. And then I invite you to notice how you're feeling in this moment. If anything has shifted or if you feel the same. And whenever you're ready, maybe opening your eyes if they were closed. And as you're ready, you might begin your practice by placing your hands either on your hips or maybe behind you. And I invite you to roll your shoulders back, bringing your shoulder blades down your spine, opening your chest. And maybe staying here for a couple of breaths. And just noticing whatever's here without judging it, just noticing. And then as you're ready, I invite you to cross your arms in front of you, holding on to your knees, and then folding forward any amount. So your fold might look different than mine, and that's perfectly okay. We're all different with different bodies. And then in your own time, rising up and then crossing your hands in front of you. And some options here. So you're welcome to stay right here in stillness, or maybe adding some movement by lifting and lowering your arms. And if you like, you can move with me, or you might explore moving in your own flow, your own rhythm. So maybe moving slower or faster. It's your practice. This is your yoga, and you are in charge. And then as you're ready, twisting yourself and bringing your hands again, either on your hips or behind you, and opening your chest. And you're welcome to maybe this time bring your awareness to your breath. Maybe staying with your natural rhythm of breath, or if it's available to you, adding a little air to your inhale and to your exhale. And in your own time, guiding yourself to crossing your arms, maybe this time the other arm on top, and then folding forward any amount. And as you're ready, guiding yourself back up and bringing your hands together. You're welcome to stay here or adding movement. And sometimes we don't know until we try. So remember that you're not stuck in your decision. You're welcome to try and then maybe change your mind. Remembering that your body is your best teacher. So trying to listen to what your body is telling you. And as you're ready, untwisting yourself and then walking your hands forward. And you might stay here. Another option could be to maybe bring your forearms on the mat, resting your head on your hands, or perhaps letting your head drop towards the earth. Staying here for a couple of breaths and maybe noticing what are your patterns. Where do you hold the most tension in your body? Noticing your shoulders, noticing your face, your jaw, without judging, just noticing, because it's only when we notice what's here can we take care of what's here. And then in your own time, guiding yourself back up to your center. And now I invite you to make your way towards tabletop pose. And maybe finding some organic movement here. So that's a type of movement that is natural to you. So you might maybe do some cat and cow, so arching and rounding your spine. Or you might move your spine in circles. So maybe taking a moment to come out of your head, out of thinking, and coming into feeling and being. So feeling your aliveness and letting your body guide the way that you move. And then as you're ready, guiding your hips back towards your heels into child's pose. Feeling your inhale, finishing your exhale. Noticing what happens to the mind when the body is still. Maybe taking a moment to thank your mind for all the thinking and analyzing that it does. And then returning to your body, to the present. And you're welcome to stay here as long as you like, or you might, on your next in-breath, roll your spine up, leaning forward, and then on your next out-breath, you might arch your back and bring your hips back into child's pose. So making a kind of spinal wave. And if you're interested, you might repeat this a couple of times. And you're welcome to synchronize your movement with me. Or you might prefer to find your own way of moving, so your own flow, your own rhythm. Maybe a couple of more moments here. And then as you're ready, you might, on your next roll forward, bring your hips down and lie down on the mat, coming into Sphinx pose. So you might bring your forearms onto the mat. See if you can maybe roll your shoulders back, bringing your shoulder blades down your spine. And some options here. So you're welcome to stay here in Sphinx pose, in stillness, Or if you're interested, you might explore adding some movement. So one option could be to bring your chin towards your chest and bring your shoulder blades out to the sides, or perhaps lifting your hips and pausing here for a moment. And then as you're ready, coming back into Sphinx, rolling your shoulders back. So you're welcome to repeat this a couple of times. And then if you're choosing to move your body, you might be noticing the sensations changing, moving from one part of your body to the other. So you might be feeling some sensation in your shoulders, maybe around your core muscles, or you might be feeling something different. So there's no right or wrong way of feeling. There's just your way. And then as you're ready, I invite you to come into crocodile pose. So making a diamond with your hands and perhaps resting your head on your hands. Can you feel the support of the earth below you? Noticing that your body has weight. Noticing that your body breathes, that your body is alive. Yeah. And then as you're ready, I invite you to make your way into downward facing dog. So tucking your toes, lifting your hips. And some options here. You're welcome to stay here in stillness or maybe moving your body. So you might want to walk your dog by bending your knees, wiggling your hips. Remembering there's no right or wrong way to do yoga. This is your practice. So maybe staying here for a couple of moments. And then as you're ready, I invite you to lift your right leg up any amount. And then stepping it forward next to on the outside of your right hand, coming into lizard pose. You're welcome to stay here in stillness or maybe leaning your body forward and back. And depending on which option you've chosen, you might be feeling something different in your body. So you might feel some sensation in your front leg or maybe in the back of your back leg, in your calf. And then in your own time, releasing your back heel, your back knee, and toes. And then bringing your right arm up towards the sky. So you're welcome to stay here, or you might explore reaching back behind you. And perhaps taking the opportunity to lengthen your inhale and your exhale. Maybe inviting some compassion, some curiosity, letting go of judgment and of how things should be, how they should look. And as you're ready, releasing that hand down and then making your way. Let's meet in downward facing dog. Feeling your inhale, feeling your exhale. You might be here in stillness or you might be moving your body. And then as you're ready, let's try that on the other side. So lifting your left leg up any amount. And then stepping it forward on the outside of your left hand. And like last time, you're welcome to stay here in stillness, or you might feel like exploring, shifting your body forward and back. And I invite you to release your back knee, release your back toes, and then lifting your left arm up towards the ceiling. So that's one option, or another option could be to reach your arm back behind you. Remembering that you're always welcome to stop at any time for any reason, or to do something different. it's perfectly okay to be doing something different than I'm doing. Maybe noticing if there's any tension on your face, around your jaw, without judging it, just allowing it to be. And then as you're ready, let's meet in downward facing dog. Feeling your inhale, finishing your exhale. And as you're ready, I invite you to look in between your hands and step forward towards the top of your mat. And maybe pausing here and standing forward fold. So you might have your knees bent or straight. And you might be here in stillness, or maybe you prefer to add some movement. It's your choice, it's your practice. And maybe letting what you feel in your body help you choose. And as you're ready, I invite you to roll yourself to standing. And you might pause here for a moment, noticing the support of the earth below you. You might bring your hands flat across your chest. You might notice your breath. And just notice how you're feeling in this moment. And then as you're ready, I invite you to explore a little standing balance, often called tree pose. So you might lift your right leg up and keep your toes on the floor. Or you might place it anywhere on your left leg. So maybe on your shin or your thigh. And remembering that just because I could place my leg higher, it doesn't mean I'm better at yoga. We're all different. So just picking an option that works for you in this moment. And you're also always welcome to hold on to the wall. And maybe noticing whatever's showing up. So you might notice some wobbling or some shaking. Maybe noticing if you're holding your breath. And letting go of those expectations of how it should look, how it should feel, and embracing whatever is. And you're welcome to stay here in stillness, or you might add some movement. So if you're interested, you might begin to lift your arms and then lowering them down. And you might synchronize this with your breath, so maybe inhaling up and exhaling down. You might notice what it feels like to move your arms through the air. Maybe one more moment here. And then as you're ready, letting that go and perhaps taking a moment to notice if your legs feel any different. And then as you're ready, trying that on the other side. So you might keep your toes on the ground. You might rest your foot on your ankle, shin, or on your thigh, whatever works for you. So yoga is not about being the best, but it's about picking the best option that works for us in this moment. So you might stay here in stillness, or you might explore lifting your arms on an inhale and lowering them on an exhale. And if you lose balance, maybe just coming back without judging it, as saying it's bad or good, just coming right back in and trying again. Maybe one more moment here. And then I invite you to make your way to the front of your mat to mountain pose. And then as you're ready, you might shift your weight onto your right leg, lifting your left, and then stepping it back. Let's see how slowly and mindfully can you step your leg back behind you. So maybe slowing your movement down to feel what's here. Really noticing which muscles are engaging. So we meet in high lunge. And you might have your hands on your hips, or you might prefer to bring them up towards the sky. Whatever works for you. And then I invite you to ground through your back heel and bring your arms out wide, coming into warrior two. And then here, maybe bring your awareness to your shoulders, maybe lifting them up towards your ears and then allowing them to soften. Maybe noticing the muscles around your eyes. Maybe inviting them to soften. And then as you're ready, can you flip your front palm, reaching forward and then reaching up and straightening your front knee for reverse triangle. And you're welcome to gaze up at your top hand or maybe gazing down, whatever feels better in your body. And then as you're ready, coming back to warrior two. And now some options. You're welcome to stay here in stillness or maybe linking these two movements into a little mini sequence. And you might move with me or you might find your own flow, your own rhythm. And you might link this movement with your breath, so maybe inhaling up, exhaling down. Maybe one last time. And then as you're ready, stepping to the front of your mat for mountain. Pausing for a moment, maybe taking a couple of intentional breaths, maybe noticing the support of the earth below you. Noticing that you are alive, that you are here in this moment, inviting feeling coming out of your head and into your body. And then as you're ready, shifting your weight onto your left leg, and let's see how slowly can you step your right leg back. Coming into high lunge. So one option might be that you have your hands on your hips, or you might lift your arms up towards the ceiling. Your choice, it's your practice, and choosing is better than doing. So your choice is more important than doing something the best or the most. And then in your own time, grounding through your back heel and stretching your arms out in opposite directions for warrior two. You might bring your awareness to your jaw, maybe inviting some softness. You might bring your awareness to your forehead, maybe inviting some softness. And then I invite you to flip your front palm, reaching forward and then up, straightening your front knee for a reverse triangle. You might gaze up towards the sky or down towards the earth. Whatever works for you. Noticing the soles of your feet standing on your mat or on the floor. And then as you're ready, making your way, guiding your body to warrior two. And choosing if you'd like to stay here in stillness or if you'd like to link these movements in a little mini sequence. Moving with me or in your own flow, your own rhythm. You might synchronize your movement with your breath and seeing what it feels like to move your body. To move your body and breathe in rhythm. And you might stay here for another moment. And as you're ready, we meet in downward facing dog. Feeling your inhale. Finishing your exhale. You might be here in stillness. You might be moving your dog. And then as you're ready, gazing forward and then stepping through to seated. And if you're interested, I have 2 more yoga shapes to offer before final rest. So the first one is forward fold. There's many different ways you could practice this yoga shape. So you might have your knees bent, or you might have them straight. So whatever works for you. And then as you're ready, you might reach your arms up, lengthening your spine, and then folding your torso forward any amount. And your forward fold might look different than mine, and that's perfectly okay. We're all different. So wherever you are in your fold, you might invite your shoulders to soften. You might invite the muscles around your eyes to soften. You might notice your breath here. And then, if it's available to you, maybe lengthening your inhale. Maybe lengthening your exhale. Maybe one more moment here. And then as you're ready, rolling yourself up and then lying down onto the mat. So I invite you to bring your knees towards your chest. And maybe giving yourself a big hug. You might take a moment here to thank yourself for showing up for this practice. You might thank your body for all that it does and just the way that it is. It's a good body. And you might be rocking yourself here or not. And then maybe taking a moment to see if there's anything else that you feel like your body needs before final rest. And maybe taking a moment, the opportunity to do that now. So maybe giving yourself a stretch or twist. And as you're ready, you might make your way to however you would like to finish your practice. So you might stay lying down. You might put your legs up against the wall, or maybe you prefer to finish in a seated shape. Whatever works for you. You're welcome to keep your eyes open or close them. And you're welcome to explore this final rest in stillness, or you can keep moving your body. So remembering that you're not stuck in your decision. You're always welcome to move. And maybe bringing your awareness to the parts of your body that have just landed on the surface below you. And see if there's anything you could do to make yourself just a little bit more comfortable. Maybe taking a moment to do that now. Any micro movements. I deserve to be comfortable. Maybe noticing sounds around you, some sounds in the distance. Sounds that are closer to you. Maybe noticing the temperature of the air on your skin. And you might notice that your mind starts to wander to the future or the past. And just know that that's perfectly normal. That's what the mind does. So maybe noticing it and then coming back to your body. Coming back to sensing and feeling. coming back to being. So there's nothing special that you have to be doing. Just practice being present in this moment. And you might take a couple of intentional breaths. You might notice the outer edges of your body. Perhaps bringing some micro movements to your body, like wiggling your toes, your fingers, or maybe giving yourself a big stretch. Or a yawn. Ah. You might roll over to either side if you're lying down. And whenever you are ready, maybe opening your eyes if they were closed and reorienting yourself. So looking around, looking at your surroundings, what you see, the colors, the light. Maybe taking a moment to notice how you're feeling. If you're feeling different than at the start of our practice, and it's okay if you're not. And then in your own time, making your way back to your center, so to a seated shape. And I thank you for your practice. The good in me sees the good in you. Thank you.